And now, from beyond our dimension, this is the JeffMara podcast. Here's Jeff.
My guest is Penny Rummel, retired military veteran of 27 years and former MUFON section director for Washington State, who's had contact with both the Sasquatch people and the Greys. Penny, thanks for joining me and welcome.
Oh, thank you, Jeff. It is truly an honor to be here with you today and your audience. Thank you so much.
Well, it's my honor to have you. And which contact started first, the Greys or the Sasquatch people?
Well, it actually was the Sasquatch people that started first, because this all started in 2018 while I was at my part-time job at a school. I worked in school suspension with kids that just get into a little bit of trouble here and there, and they put them in with me. One day while I was in the room with them, this thought came in to go to the library and find a Bigfoot book, which that's really weird. You're at work and then this thought placement comes in. So I had the privilege of picking up and just going to the library, bringing the kids with me. And that's what we did. And I found one book on the Bigfoot people, or Bigfoot. And that's what started it all. I read that book and I just had this thirst for knowing more. I wanted to understand them. I wanted to know more. And later on, after reading so many books, I read over 100 books on the Sasquatch people. And it was Kawani Lapsaritis' book, The Psychic Sasquatch, that started it all, because I reached out to him because I felt like I was ready to have a relationship with them and get to know them. And I asked him if he could help me, and he did indeed. He helped me figure out a plan on how and where to go, because he doused the area. So he's very psychic himself. So he knew that they were there and they were willing to have that kind of relationship with me as long as I lost my fear. So Kawani was coaching me that particular night that I called him. First night that I contacted him, we had this conversation about telepathy, how it works, how I'm to go into the woods, sit and be quiet, be at peace, and have love in my heart. I thought, okay, I'll work on that. That night, when I went to sleep, they came to me in a dream. I had the Sasquatch people come to me in a very vivid dream where a male Sasquatch came up to me and just introduced himself. It was all from mind to mind. I just basically told him, thank you, I appreciate it. And then he introduced me to his mate, the female Sasquatch, and their two little ones. And that just kickstarted what is happening today and my journey with the Sasquatch people.
What are the Sasquatch people?
Yeah, that's a good question. Sasquatch people are what many people believe are the Bigfoot. And it's a lot of people think it's a myth. This big, hairy creature, sometimes 8 to 10 feet tall, is out in the woods. And many people just don't believe. But it's actually true. They're there. But there's more to them. They have more abilities. They're like Kawani Lapsaritis has shared with me, and I have experienced, they're interdimensional. They can go in and out of different realms or different dimensions, if you will. So they have a lot of abilities.
Do you think they've been on the planet even before humans were here?
I absolutely believe they had been here longer than us. Just with the readings that I have read on different people have relationships with these Sasquatch people, and they're interacting with them through mind speak. So they share and teach them things about themselves and about humans. And they were here a lot longer than us, and they've been here a long time. Yeah.
Are they more intelligent than we are? And if so, are they far more intelligent?
I think they're far more advanced than us. As far as intelligence goes, it's really about how they've connected with nature and they really understand how to live with the land, not on the land as we do in our big homes, our big cars, and all the other things that we accumulate. And they have focused on, and always have, living within nature and respecting nature, finding everything they need within nature: plant medicine, water, food substance. Anything they need is within nature. And that's true for us too. We look back at the Native Americans, they lived like that too for the longest time before they came upon the white man, where we colonized everything. And a lot of Native Americans kind of lost their way.
Why are they hiding from us?
Well, Jeff, I think if you look at humans and how our nature is, we're very warring. We are very violent and destructive, and they don't want to interact with that. They want no part of that, and so they can get killed. So they have been killed before by humans, and so they're very leery about interacting with just any person. There has to be trust, a respectful and loving relationship before they interact with any human.
Have you ever had physical contact with them?
Okay, physical contact with them. Yes, I have. Yeah.
Tell us about it.
I sure will. There's a group that we camp with, and I went to camp with a few of them, and I've had really bad hip pain. I've since had hip surgery, but it was on my left side. And we did 3 hikes that day, up and down a hill, really close to Mount Rainier. And it was up and down 3 times, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, and then one at night. And during the night one, I stopped in one particular spot and felt a vibration from my feet to the tip of my head. And I yelled up ahead, "I'm not leaving. I'm being vibrated and it feels amazing. I'm staying right here." And I heard from one of my friends, she said, "I am too. I'm also being vibrated." And so I stayed there until it stopped, and then I continued up the hill. But before or during that walk, I had asked for a healing. If someone could please help my hip, just relieve the pain. So when we went back to camp, we hung around the campfire, told some stories, enjoyed ourselves, having a great time, laughing. And my friend told me about a particular Sasquatch female that she knew, and I thought, what a great way to interact with a female Sasquatch and having conversations with her in mind speak. I was just really enjoying the conversation that she was sharing with me. And it was about midnight, and we both went to bed. She read for a little bit in her tent, and I can't sleep when there's lights on. It has to be dark. So I waited for the lights to go out, and it seems as though I went out pretty quick. The next thing I felt was this pressure on my back against the back of the tent. My cot was up against the back of the tent, and I felt this pressure on the lower part of my back. That's the first thing I felt. And then I felt arms come across me and hold my hip, just like this, and it's holding my hip. And oh, Jeff, the amount of healing love that was emanating from her, and I know it was a her because I saw her, was so intense that I felt like I was going to burst with just tears of joy. And I shared with her from mind to mind that this is so much, that maybe I could give some to her because it just seems so much. And she was just like a mom. Now, And then, in that next moment, I see this little arm come over and he says, "Me too." And he also grabbed the side of my hip, which really put me into another bit of emotional joy. It just feels like you're bursting inside with love. It's really hard to describe, but he also held me. I don't know how long it lasted. Next thing I remember is waking up and having this memory of all of them being there, the two of them. And there were some little ones that were running around when this was going on inside of my tent. Um, but I believe she called them out quite quickly after she left. But I remember getting up and saying to my friend that was getting out of her tent, I said, "I really need a cup of coffee and I really need to talk to you." And she said, "Oh, did you hear them last night? They were walking over toward your tent." So I told her what happened, and that's my healing story of the female Sasquatch.
Do you have any physical evidence of them, like pictures of their footprints or hair?
Yeah, I do have that kind of thing, but I'm beyond the physical. Like I know they exist, so I mean I don't have to prove that to myself or anyone. I already know they exist. But yes, I do have that from the earlier days. I did collect certain things, and I do have photos of footprints, but that kind of thing doesn't even enter into my mind when I go out there now. I just look forward to interacting with them any way that they would like to, and leave it at that. But yes, I do.
When did you start connecting with the Greys?
Yeah, the connection with the Grays came in 2019. It was just one encounter that I had with them, besides my time on board a craft, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. But it was 2009. It was July 2019. I had just woken up, and our bathroom is adjacent to where our bedroom is, so I can actually see inside of our bathroom when I rolled to the left. And I rolled to the left, and my eyes actually rolled to the left, and I saw a gray standing there. And I wasn't fearful. I was actually just surprised, like just, wow, you're a gray. The problem that I had with it was when in my mind I thought, you know what? I bet Russ would like to see this gray, my husband. So I went to move to wake him up and I couldn't move. And that is when the fear kicked in. And I looked back over and he was gone. So that was my one encounter with a gray that close. And there was only one gray. And this is what he looked like, Jeff, because I thought maybe we'd talk about that. That's what he looked like. I painted it immediately after I got up.
How tall was he?
About 4 foot.
Why do you think you were contacted?
I think I was contacted for the next event that took place in my life. And I don't know what the message was. Maybe it was some type of preparing me. But I think I was contacted. I don't know. I just don't know. It's a great question, but I really can't answer it. Yeah.
Did you have some type of spiritual awakening prior to the Bigfoot contact? Something that thinned the veil for you?
Nothing other than the readings and allowing my mind and my heart to open up to the possibilities of life beyond this three-dimensional. That there must be more to life. And there must be more to life within the universe. There's got to be more people or beings that we just haven't had the privilege of interacting with when we look at how vast the universe is. I mean, to me, it's just makes sense that there'd be other people out there.
So you had this contact, but then later you wound up on a ship with the Greys, right?
Right.
How did
Yep.
that happen?
Yeah. It was January 19th, 2020. I found myself on board a craft. At the time when it was going on, I didn't know it was a craft. I thought I was in a dream. But the craft was this oval, all I saw was in front of me was this oval room, all white, very bright, and 8 to 10 bassinets, clear bassinets of baby Sasquatch that were all facing me in a U shaped. And I felt or had a knowing that there was a gray behind me, this side. I never turned around. And behind this side was a tall Sasquatch man. And I got the message to be there to love them, to hold them, to just to care for them. And that's exactly what I did because they were all wanting me. One in particular on the right side was just beckoning me to come. They wanted me to come hold him and be with him. And so I don't know how long I was there, Jeff, but I know that I did spend time with each of them. I just don't recall how long I was there. The next thing I remember is waking up, and my husband is holding a flashlight out the back of our double French door that's all done in glass. He's holding the flashlight out up beyond the trees. And I look up and I see this huge puffy cloud. It was huge. And it had these lightning bolts flashing out of it. And I thought, what's going on? And then all of a sudden we hear 8 to 10 sonic booms. And then I say, well, the weirdest thing, I say, oh, they're leaving. I'm going back to bed. Then I go back to bed. And when I wake up at 6 a.m, I remember everything. So I asked my husband, hey, remember when you were holding the flashlight last night up? And he says, no, I don't remember that. I don't know what happened, why he didn't remember, but he was definitely there. I remember going back to bed and looking at the clock. It was 2:45.
What do you think the connection is between the Greys and the Sasquatch?
I think if they have a connection because of genetics. I think they are able to create and may have created the Sasquatch people. But there's definitely a connection with genetics. And there's a definite connection to me and the Sasquatch people because I've been told by many different psychics that those babies have your DNA. You're a part of them. They're a part of you.
Do you have any memories of your eggs being taken?
No, it wasn't like that because I thought the same thing. I said, look, I'm 50 years old. How does that happen? I'm already past that point. And what they shared with me was the Greys were able to take your DNA just through a strand of hair. I was like, okay, all right.
Did you feel any connection with these baby
Yeah.
Sasquatch as if they were
Oh,
your children?
oh, absolutely. 100%. For the next 2 weeks after that took place, I was in a deep sorrow, like missing them, yearning to be with them. It wasn't depression. It was more, I wanted to be with them. I wanted to spend time with them, but yeah, definitely a connection.
Do you think the babies viewed you as their mother?
I think the babies knew who I was, a part of them. As far as being the mother, I I don't I don't know. I honestly don't think so, but it could be.
Do you think they felt a connection with you?
Yes, 100%. They did. 100%. Yeah.
How many babies were there?
8 to 10, Jeff. I can't remember, like, I didn't stand there and count them. So that kind of bugs me that I don't know the exact number, but I know it's 8 to 10 because the other significant part, and I think it plays into this, is those sonic booms that we heard from that craft was 8 to 10. How many? I don't know, but I just felt like it was 8 to 10. And I felt like that's some kind of message to me.
Yeah, I was wondering what the connection is.
Representing each baby is what I felt. Yeah.
Since that experience, have you had any more contact with the Greys?
No, I have not.
Do you think the Greys are sentient beings or biological robots?
No, these particular Greys were not robots. At least the one that I saw, I did not get that impression. I really felt like there was a soul there, because when I looked at him, yeah, I looked right into his eyes. Obviously I painted him, so I was able to really look deep in his eyes, and there was some kind of connection. So I feel like that particular Gray, anyways, did have a soul.
Penny, can you show us some of your pictures?
Absolutely, I'd love to. This is a Sasquatch being that came in an orb form, and he is in his energy body, Jeff. His back is to the maple tree. I've done an outline here so you can actually see his back, his right profile. He's got a Fu Manchu, this beard or mustache that comes down. You can see where his eye is, his shoulders, and his nose there, as well as his chin.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yep.
Were you able to see this with your naked eye or only in the photo?
So because I do all my photographing on an iPad, I'm actually able to see it live, but I have to see it through my screen. I don't see it with my naked eye. I'm actually looking at it live. So the iPad and our iPhones have a 1.5 seconds of live time when you're photographing. You've probably seen them on your phone or other people's phone.
Right.
Well, this orb came in and then shifted into the Sasquatch body. There's actually another orb right in front of him, kind of going off into the right direction, up through the maple tree.
Yeah, I see that. So that's interesting that you can see them through the screen versus looking directly at the trees. I guess it picks up a different frequency or something.
Correct. It does. The Sasquatch people have their own frequency just like we do. Is a much higher frequency. And the technology now with cameras on our iPhones and iPads are amazing. And I've really used this live mode to see orbs come in and out of the screen, because I have not been able to see it with my naked eye yet. Yeah.
All right, let's take a look at another one.
This particular Sasquatch came to me on October 19th, 2024. My husband and I had just finished watching Flash of Beauty Paranormal. Great documentary if you haven't seen it or the audience hasn't seen it. But what happened was I got nudged to go out and take a photograph. And when I did, he showed up. Can you see him on the right side? Mm-hmm. He's in his empty body once again. And you can see the Fu Manchu, the eyes. The eyes are kind of like, they almost look like sad eyes, the way his eyebrows are kind of slanted down, and then the eyes, nose, and you can see that he's quite tall. When my husband and I measured that out, because that's in our backyard, he's about 9 foot tall.
Does your husband see them through the screen live as well?
He can, yes. He doesn't choose to go out with me to photograph, but when I come back in, I can show him and he sees them, yes.
Did this one also present as an orb?
No, he showed up just like this in his energy body. Now, did I miss the orb form before I took the photo? Possibly. I don't know, but this is what I captured and wasn't able, because sometimes I can go back in the live mode and edit and fine tune it to get it right up on screen and save that particular, what's the word I want? A frame. as the photo. So you can actually pick the frame you want as the photo. And
It would be amazing if you could see the Sasquatch phase into complete reality, physical reality,
yeah,
and then phase back out.
I would love that. I look forward to that opportunity. I really do. Yep.
All right. Do you have any more?
I do have one other one. Each of these have a little bit of a storyline to go with them.
Sure. Bring it up.
Next one is no exception. So I'll stop sharing, go in now. All right. So what you're seeing is Sasquatch in his energy body, and he is squatting. Okay, almost mimicking. Sometimes women squat when they use the restroom. I know I do. And I do go outside in the woods to, take care of business sometimes. And on this one particular day, I was concerned about, I probably shouldn't show them my back end to the woods. I should probably show them my front end, when I'm taking care of business. And so that evening, when I went out to take photos of our orbs, which I normally do every night, this was captured, which I thought was very funny.
Is there an orb on the left upper side?
That's correct. There's also an orb up a little bit higher to the left in the tree there.
Have you ever been out camping and been in contact with the Sasquatch people?
Other than that one time where there was a healing, not in the physical. So there's many times that the Sasquatch people will come around the camp and they'll play a little bit. They'll go through people's ice chests or anything that is left out. It's probably the younger ones that do this. They do this a lot, is brush the tents with their hands when they're walking by. They're always leaving things for people too. I mean, like little gifts. Sometimes it's a crystal, sometimes it's an actual rock. I have a couple different rocks too that they gifted me that are actually in the shape of a Sasquatch or has a face of a Sasquatch in the rock. And people get those kind of gifts a lot too, where they're getting rocks that have some kind of Sasquatch image on them, which is really fascinating to see. Yeah.
And do you think the Sasquatch have a message for humanity?
Absolutely. It's really time for humanity to wake up and understand who we are. We are not just of the 3D world. We are light beings. We are a lot like them. We just are not using our abilities as they do. And they want us to wake up and not have any fear or war or any type of destruction. They want us to be harmonious and live in nature and respect nature as they do.
For those people who would like to encounter a Sasquatch, do you have any tips?
Absolutely. I would recommend reading books like Kawani Lapsaritis' book, which is The Psychic Sasquatch, and Sasquatch, the Interdimensional. Great books to start with, because a lot of these authors are writing in a form that they believe they're more of an animal than of a people. And a lot of them do not believe that they have these abilities. So you get two different types of authors. So I encourage the audience, if you're interested, to start reading. You can go to YouTube too. There are some good YouTube channels out there that you can tune into as well. But people like Kawani Lapsaritis, Barb Shoop, she just put out a new book, really good. It's called The Unseen Audience in Her Sasquatch Encounters. Great book. Tom Cantrell, who has been doing this, he's in his 80s now. He has over 16 books that he wrote about the Sasquatch people. I would highly encourage anyone in the audience that is interested to read his books too. That's a great way to start. It's how I started.
You authored a book titled Orbs, the Energy of Life.
Yes.
When did you start seeing orbs?
When I started seeing orbs was in August of 2022. So I read this author's book. His name is Dr. Matthew Johnson, and he talked about how the Sasquatch people can shift their energy into many different forms. But I was interested that they could shift their energy into an orb. And so he invited me out to camp with him and his wife and a group of people at their property where they've been known to be the Sasquatch people. And so, but one of his stipulations, Jeff, was to camp out with just a cot, a pillow, and your sleeping bag. And so I wasn't really comfortable with camping during that time. So I thought, and especially it being very vulnerable to do that out in the open in the woods with just a cot, sleeping bag, and a pillow. So I knew I needed to practice that to see if I was able to do it. And so I set up my cot. I was going to do this outside in our backyard in the wooded area. And I set up my cot, got it all ready. And I thought, I'm going to take a picture and let the host know that I'm taking this seriously and I'm trying to get ready to come to the camp. So I took a picture. I noticed that it didn't have the woods in the background, and something just told me, take another picture. Well, it was that second picture that I took that captured an orb with a juvenile Sasquatch face in it. I didn't know it at the time. I had just sent the email and picture off to him. And then later the next day when I woke up, I just reviewed it and saw the orb in my photo and was really shocked. And then I realized orbs are real, and I've started photographing every night since then. And that's why I have an accumulation of photos of orbs, and so that's where the book came from. Is that I realized I need to share this. I need to share these photos with people that are interested, so that they can learn if they want to as well. And so I put the photos in a book. Tom Cantrell helped me write the foreword and helped me put it together, and now we have the book, Orbs, the Energy of Life.
Are you
170 photos in the book.
Are you able to see orbs with the naked eye without using the iPad?
No, not yet.
Why do you think some people can and some people can't?
I think it has to do with frequency. I think it has to do with our own frequency, where we're at the time, and the frequency of that orb. Who is intended to see the orb will see the orb. I think it's the same thing with UFOs as well. Craft is that whoever is supposed to see that craft will see it. It was intentional. Just like I did with the first orb. That orb was very intentional, that it wanted to be in that photograph.
Are there different types of orbs?
Yes, there are different colors, Jeff. There's some beautiful different colors of orbs. There's rainbow orb. There's some yellow orbs, different types. But as far as their form and what they make up, I believe that orbs can be angelic. I think orbs can be different beings. Obviously, I believe they can be Sasquatch people, animals. I've seen my yellow lab that passed away. His orb came out. I took a photo during the time when he passed, and there was an orb right there after he passed. So I think animals are part of that, and also people. I have a photograph of my mom that came back in orb, and my father as well.
Well, let's take a look at some of your orb photos.
Sounds good.
That's a nice clear orb.
This is a beautiful orb. This orb, actually, you can actually see the date and the clock, and you can see the time too. But this orb showed up on the 8th of January, 2023, and it was the night that my father had passed. I didn't know it at the time that I took this photograph. I showed it to my husband, and he said, wow, that is a really clear orb. But 2 hours later, I got a call from my brother letting me know that my father had passed.
What were you taking a picture of if you didn't see it there? Just your room or what?
Yeah, I just got another one of those prompting to take a photograph, and I did. Yeah. That happens a lot, you know. I just let my intuition, I listen to it. When I go outside to take, I set an intention. When I go outside to take photos of orbs, I set an intention to photograph them, to be with them. On this particular one, I felt like I got a nudge to take a picture, and there it was.
When you say you felt like you got a nudge, what is that like? Is it like you just kind of think all of a sudden, maybe I should go out and take a picture? Or is there something more to it?
No, it's as simple as what you just said. I need to take a picture. I need to just pick up my iPad and take a picture. It's that simple. Yeah, it's a little nudge.
All right.
Where you weren't even thinking that before. You were just sitting there watching. In this case, we were watching a football game. It was on a commercial. Yeah.
All right, let's see another one.
You got it. And so, Jeff, I was lucky enough to check off one of my bucket lists, and that was to spend time in Egypt, to go to Egypt and go inside of the Great Pyramid. And of course, I knew I wanted to photograph orbs while I was there. I really wanted to photograph orbs inside of the Great Pyramid, but that was not allowed. And so in the middle of the night, I would get up, because where we were staying wasn't that far. I would say less than, this particular property is probably less than 200 yards from the Great Pyramid, being able to get to it. And so I got up in the middle of the night so that I could take photographs of the orbs. And this is one of the orbs that I photographed while I was there.
I kind of feel like the orb is close to you and not to the pyramid. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I never really thought about that, but I think because of the other ones that I have, that they were closer to the pyramid, perhaps, or I never even really thought about it like that. Yeah.
Do you have any more photos?
Yes. Do you want to see Egypt?
Sure. It looks like you just missed the orb, and it's just the tail of it in motion.
But look on both sides, Jeff. Look at right through the middle of the pyramid. There's like this line of light, and then this burst of light at the top of it.
What do you think's going on there?
I just think it's an enormous amount of energy. No, and not necessarily an orb, but some kind of energy that I captured. The one on the right is certainly an orb, the tail end of it. Correct.
What kind of orbs are you interacting with?
I think that I'm interacting with orbs that are different beings sometimes. I think some of them are just nature orbs. I think some of them are animal spirits, beings, different beings. Obviously, I feel like I am interacting with Sasquatch orbs at times.
Do you ever see UFOs?
I've only seen a UFO one time. Take that back, twice. I saw one just recently. I believe it was a UFO from our home, out our backyard, about 2 to 3 miles away. It was like a sphere, and it had different colors around it. It was pulsating different colors, green, blue, like a pinkish color. All seemed to be like a pastel color, but flashing, very bright and very unusual. And it lasted, my husband actually saw it first and called me out to see it. So it lasted probably 5, 10, maybe 15 minutes. And it was hanging out. Yeah. And then when I was little, about 10 years old, I was driving in the back seat of the Volkswagen that my parents had. And this huge orange glow ball came down onto the highway. We were headed to go see Santa Claus at the Oakdale Mall in New York. And this huge glowing orange ball just came right down to the highway. And I was just staring at it, wondering what it was. No one was talking. No one in the car was saying anything. As a matter of fact, we didn't talk about it until just recently, when I was part of MUFON, is when I started talking about that with my family to see if they had remembered that. One brother did, the other brother did not. I have two brothers, and my mom had already passed, so I wasn't able to ask her. But my dad did say that he vaguely remembered something like that.
Do you feel that the majority of the Bigfoot population is centered around the Pacific Northwest? And if so, why?
No, I do not think that. I think that they're all over. I have friends in Oklahoma. I have people that I know in Ohio, people I know in Minnesota. They're all over, and I think they're all over the world too. I know Russia has them. There's a couple of people that we interact with that have seen and are researchers of the Sasquatch people. Yeah, I think they're in Australia. I think there's different, like us, there are different types of people, So I think there's different types of Sasquatch people as well.
Are you more interested in the Sasquatch people or the Greys?
I'm more interested in the Sasquatch people. Like I said, I feel like I have a really strong connection with them. And I think that stems from, I believe in reincarnation. And I do believe that I probably was a Sasquatch person before.
It's very often that I ask a person if they were an ET in a past life. But now we get that you were a Sasquatch in a past life.
Yeah, I do. I feel that that's the connection, is that I'm here now in what we call the golden years. And we are shifting. I do believe the earth is shifting. And I do think that there's much hope for our world, and that we will have an awakening and things will shift. And we will have the relationships again with the Sasquatch people. We will reconnect.
Do you think that's why you're more susceptible to see Sasquatch compared to the rest of us?
It's definitely part of it, but I think there's effort that I've had to make, and it's not so much with the Sasquatch people as it is with finding out who I am and understanding my true essence, and learning that there's more to me than just my name, that I'm a soul, I'm a light being, and we're all here for a purpose. And I think one of my purposes is to help bridge the Sasquatch people and humans. And I think our galactic family are part of that as well. I do feel I have a relationship with the galactic family. If that is the Greys, which I'm pretty sure I probably am, and do have a relationship with them and have had in the past. That's my purpose, is to bridge that human and the Sasquatch people, reunite them back together again in love, peace, respect, and trust.
Where can people go to find out more about your book?
My book is on Amazon, and the title, like we said earlier, this is the only book that I have out right now. I'm currently writing a book about the Sasquatch people, the call of the forest people, an awakening soul. That's the one I'm working on right now. But the Orbs, the energy of life, is on Amazon in paperback and also in Kindle.
If people want to reach out and ask you questions, are you open for that?
Absolutely, yes. They can contact me through my email, which is still MUFON, MUFONPAK @gmail.com.
I noticed that you have 3 Sasquatch pictures behind you. And there's something above it, but I can't see it. Is that a painting of Sasquatch?
It
Oh, yeah, it is.
is.
Cool. Looks kind of like
Okay.
it looks like either like a Monet or something.
Yeah, this is one of my favorites. Just a cute photo that I printed out off of the internet, and I really enjoyed. Would be like my optimum goal, is to sit down and have a conversation with the Sasquatch people in the physical.
Before we finish up, can you leave us with a last positive message?
Yes, there is hope, and the true meaning is love. And if we really just focus on love and understanding, peace, then it'll be a better world for sure. And that's what the Sasquatch people want, is for us to recognize who we are and come with love in our heart and let go of the fear.
Penny, thank you for your message, and thank you for being my guest.
Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks for watching the JeffMara podcast. I really appreciate you. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. And if you do, there are loyalty badges and other perks depending on your level of membership. All you need to do is click the join button underneath the video to find out more. Thank you for your support.